Really want to have a good time with these guys. You know, all four guys that are my teammates this weekend are really good guys, and we have fun racing each other, and you know, may the best man win. But you know, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to win. But no, I just want to come back home in one piece and have a good story to write when I get home. The span of time it's taken gas bikes to evolve to what they are today, electric motorcycles have gotten close to that threshold in a significantly shorter amount of time. You can have e-bikes on the same grid as a gas bike and it'll be a competitive race. That's kind of where I see this sport evolving into, and it's kind of exciting to be on the front lines of that.
That was Troy Shehan, who was obviously very welcoming of the invitation to come and race by Kenny and Kluge. He starts in the E Superstock, one of the 4 Zero cars. He's actually qualified down in 8th place. 9 bikes qualifying, but only 7 on circuit, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when the race gets underway. But pole position going to Steve Atlas on the Bramo. Second meeting of the year, but remember he didn't race at Infineon because he had an off, he was injured. There is the 96 bike of Kenyon Kluge. He starts at the back of the 9-car field. Treble 1, Troy Shehan, who we spoke to. Good to see him out here. 69 is Don Hedrick. And away from the back of the field, getting ready to go. Steve Atlas then. Matt Kent, another rider to look out for, who was, of course, in our interviews. On board with Kenyon Kluge. It's a great start from everyone. The great thing about this meeting is they've been mixing it up with the gas bikes, as you've heard. Look at Steve Atlas is absolutely away with this one. Matt Kent in second position. Now you see, if you know the circuit at all, then you'll see that the guys are not taking in the S's, turns 1, 2 and 3. They go straight down to turn 4 and 5, Porsche Hill. And then round to the left-hander now where Steve Atlas is, turn 6. And once they're sorted out through that left-hander, then it's lean over onto the right-hander at West End, and we continue right down the straight. No doubt with that, look at the speed of these bikes. The catchphrase this weekend was silence falls here at Portland International Raceway. Very much the case. Look at the outside there, concrete wall. It's not the most forgiving of circuits here if you make a mistake. And Steve Atlas is away with this one at the moment. As we said, didn't start in round 1. We've got one rider who did do round 1, of course, Kenyon Kluge. 2 third place finishes at Infineon Raceway. So this is Bramo's first race of the year. I need to talk to you a little bit about what happened in qualifying as we look at Matt Kent on the 72 machine. Again, I have to have a chance to talk about Matt as the race unfolds, but yesterday's qualifying saw a little bit more competition for Steve Atlas, because first and second on the timing sheets were Christopher Ancien and Michael Siz. The Siz Racing bikes, the Motor Siz bikes, having problems in qualifying with overheating. The bikes have only just made it back to the base from the TT on the Isle of Man, and of course a very different track setup and a lot of adjustments needed to the bikes. It didn't really work out. They had the pace yesterday, but they haven't got the technology to keep the bikes from overheating. So Motor Siz taking the decision, having shown the pace in qualifying, not to run the bikes and do further damage in the racing. So that afforded pole position to Steve Atlas today. There's Matt Kent on the 72 machine. Now the 0S is the E Superstock, remember the production class. Very close, and all 4 bikes, we've got one returning rider, Kenyon Kluge, on trying to work his way through on the 96 machine. But as you heard, Troy Shehan very keen to take a win here. And just how close are these bikes? This is one way that the championship is going to be going for sure. We had a quick on board there of bike number 9, Chris Page. He's racing in other championships here this weekend. Clouds threatening, but so far none of the what the organisers term as English weather that we had in qualifying. Steve Atlas, best time in qualifying 1:18.949, average speed of 87.505, and bettering that today 1:17.768 as we go. Look at a great shot from Chris Page. Kenyon Kluge in 96 on 96, trying to get around the outside. And you really get the feeling that there's this developing trend with the e-bikes, that they're going to have the e-superbikes, the e-open class, which is going to continue, plus the e-superstocks eventually probably going to wind up having their own races. But there's the man in second place, Matt Kent, on the Cole Morgan Virginia Bolt Tech team, student-based team. Great effort today to get the bike up into second on the grid, their first race. So a big warm welcome to the championship for Matt Kent and the boys, and let's hope we get to see more of those over the course of the season. Looking back from Troy Shehan, Don Hedrick behind him on number 69. Don, who's been an OMRA, that's the organising club here, the Oregon Moto Road Racing Organisation, been a member since 1999 and is an instructor here. Picked up quite a few trophies last year riding a Ducati 1098S, so he knows what he's doing, certainly around this circuit. Circuit knowledge, a good thing for new riders to the bikes to employ as we go back on board with Chris Page, who's leading this little battle at the moment. And we've got Eli Schless in the race as well. I need to have a little shout out for Eli riding on bike number 18. Hopefully we'll get to see him. Eli celebrating his 25th wedding anniversary today, so warm congratulations to him and the missus as well. Here's a look back. There's Chris Page on number 9, who's been having some good onboard shots. You can see the camera on his back, and this is the view from that camera as he slices down the inside of Troy Shehan to take us to a quick break. Welcome back to TDX round 2 of the American E-Grand Prix Championship for 2012. And that's bike number 72, Matt Kent, running in second place. But, of course, lots of interesting stuff happening in the E-Superstock competition. And these four guys having a real good scrap. Troy Shehan, Chris Page, Kenyon Kluge and Don Hedrick. There is Eli Schless. This is a great way to spend your silver wedding anniversary. Eli is there. This is his fourth start in TTX. So, really, you've got to say a little bit of a TTX veteran. Kenyon Kluge on his 5th start, and here we go on board with Kenyon. A little bit of formation riding going on in front, but he's coming down to the inside across the line, down towards turn 1. Turn 1 for us, of course, turn 4, Porsche Hill, but we're going back to second place. Matt Kent, his best lap so far, a 1:32. A little bit away from the pace of the Bramo. That's to be expected from a privateer team of students, but it's about getting the bike home and about how the bike develops over the course of the season, and I should say seasons, really. But look at this, four-way scrap again in E-Superstock. Troy Shehan still out there, some racing experience. Troy with the moto journalist, as you heard. Background that he's an Indonesian-American, both of his parents from Indonesia, but he was born and raised here in the States. And a good rider, as you can see. We're on board with Kenyon Kluge. He was on the podium at Infineon. Let's see whether he can make a move here. He's through on the inside. Kluge makes up a place. This man really au fait with the e-bike scene. He's, as we said, on his 5th TTX start, podium last time. Eli Schless looking for a podium today, running 3rd at the moment. That'll be his 2nd career podium in TTX if he can pull that off. But Troy Shehan still there, and Chris Page out front. Some of the bikes just beginning to take a little bit of a breather from the overtaking antics that they have, but they're certainly giving some good entertainment to the people here today at Portland, Oregon. Our 2nd round of the championship, 3rd race of the year, of course, because we had 2 races at Infineon. And really encouraging to see different riders coming into the sport. It really is attracting a great deal of interest as we go back to bike number 1, Steve Atlas, top speed, nearly 90 around here